Hi, I'm Tori.
Hi, I'm Cassie.
This is going to be a two-part video. We're going to be talking about terminology and what not to say to transgenders.
First terms we're going to go over are female to male or male to female. And what they say for that is F to M or M to F. And basically it's just the shorter, nicer way to say somebody who's transitioning.
The next one is binding. Binding is where you use a device to compress
Your boobies.
your boobs down.
Give your appearance of a male.
Male appearance.
Or for female, male to female transgenders, they use just bras most of the time, or they actually buy fake bras. Either way, it depends on who they are and how much money they have. So, our next term is packing. Packing is when you use a device or stuff to give the presentation that you have a package for male or female to male transgenders.
Passing. Passing is when you pass or try to pass as a male for female to male or as a woman for male to female.
And the next term is T, or a T patch, which is testosterone, or the patch they use to give testosterone.
Bottom surgery is also known for the medical term genital reconstruction, which is when you basically have surgery down there. Sorry, our dog is interrupting our video.
Get up here.
I'll do the next one too while she messes with the dog. The next one is top surgery, which is where female to males get their boobs taken off or
Vice versa.
removed. And then for male to female is where they get boobs put on.
Sorry guys, it's really hard to be serious and have my dog pushing on me, trying to get me out of his spot. Our next term is gender dysphoria, which is when somebody is uncomfortable or feels discomfort with their body or their gender. The next term is gender identity, which is how you see you or how you perceive yourself.
The next one is gender queer or gender X, which is basically when you don't consider yourself, you don't give yourself a label, basically.
You're in between genders, where you feel like you're a little bit of both. The next term is GID, which is gender identity disorder, which is when you're transgender, basically. It's when you feel like you're a different gender than what you were born.
Stealth is hiding being transgender.
It's kind of like where Tori doesn't say, oh, I'm a trans man, where it just says, I'm a man. That's the difference. Some people openly just say, I'm a trans man or trans woman, instead of just saying, I'm a man or I'm a woman. Stealth is when you do the man or woman instead of trans.
Devices
that we're going to go over are things that help transgenders perceive the gender they're trying to be. And this is kind of favored more towards male to female.
Even female to male.
Or, female to male. Because for male to female, it's a little bit different. It's kind of the opposite of what we're talking about. And for male to female, they mostly use bras and chicken cutlets. Not actual chicken cutlets, but the plastic boobie inserts and stuff like that to perceive as a female. I guess we probably should look some of those up as well, but we kind of only have information for female to male. So
The devices you would use if you were female to male are binders,
which is the device that you use for binding to shrink your boobies. And they come in like a tank top or bra looking ones that are strapless, or actual bras that bind. It depends on where you're buying from or what you're looking for.
STPs, which is a stand to pee device, which is you can get it in a bunch of different ways. You can get it in like where it actually looks like a penis, or just a little
a shiwi. I'm sure you guys have all seen those. They've been all over
Yeah.
Facebook. That's a stand to pee.
like I personally got one that looks like a penis, and then what it does is you have a harness.
Nipple suction cup
Yeah.
as well that goes like, it's called a nipple. It's like a kind of like a baby bottle nipple, like the plastic rubbery part. Kind of suction cups onto your vagina, and then you have a harness that goes around it to hold it on.
Yeah, and you actually look like you have a penis.
And that's actually our next term would be harnesses for packers, which you can buy in like underwear looking ones, or you can just buy like actual harness ones that are usually like nylon. Not very comfortable, but you know, that's usually what they are.
Yeah, and you can also find some stand to pees that are packers also, or if you would feel more comfortable just buying the packer itself, or the STP itself.
We cover packers.
No.
Packers is our next term because apparently we didn't cover it. And packers are the device that you put in your boxers when you are packing to make yourself look like you have a package. It's a lot of packing words.
And you can buy one, or you can make them at home. Some people just use socks.
And you can buy them in all different types. Like you can buy ones that you can use as well for stand-up-pies or for pleasure, or you can buy them to where they're just like round lumps that sit real nice down there. It depends on what you're looking for in your price range and stuff like that. And we'll put some links into places where you can look at these things. I wouldn't recommend buying most of these things off Amazon, because Amazon buys a lot from like China and Japan, and you gotta be careful with sizing and stuff like that when you're buying from there, because they're like 6 sizes behind us. So now we're gonna go over some things you shouldn't do or refer to transgenders as. And my biggest one and my biggest like pet peeve is when people refer to Tori or other trans men or females as he, she's, or she, he's, or it's. They are not. They're not an it. They're not something to be made fun of and for jokes to be about them. That's not cool. So just don't. Just refer to them as what they look like. So if you see a transgender who like puts out the male persona, call them a male. And if you're unsure on whether or not they're transgender, just go with he if the person looks like a male, or go with she if the person looks like a female. Because most of the time, if they're showing that to you, if you think they look like a male or a female, that's probably what they're trying to do, is make you think that's what they are. So, it's okay to just assume that the person who looks like a boy is a boy inside. And if they're not, they'll just say, oh no, I'm not a male, I'm a female. And nobody will be offended by that. So, the easiest way to go is just go by whatever they're presenting themselves as. Tori? What pushes your buttons? And what shouldn't people say to you?
That I'm not a boy. That I'm really supposed to be a girl. That bothers me.
I hate that one. When you're like, try to explain to somebody that Tori's transgender, and they're like, she was born a girl. That don't matter. Just because Tori was born with female parts does not make Tori a girl. Just like being born with boy parts doesn't necessarily mean you're a boy. Your gender identity is in your head, not your body. So, one of my biggest ones is when somebody says, "Are you sure? That's a big decision."
Yeah, I hate that.
No, this was kind of a spur of the moment thing. I just decided yesterday to be a boy and cut all my hair off and bought all boy clothes, and now I'm gonna be transgender. Like, really? Really? You really think anybody does that? And if they do, why would you say, "Are you sure?" They're gonna spend that much time and money and effort into it. Pretty sure they're sure. That I just can't stand that one. Like, there is no reason for that. But it's the same with lesbians or gays. Like, when I say to somebody I'm a lesbian, I hate it when people are like, how can you be sure? Have you ever been with a boy? No, I just decided yesterday to call myself a lesbian today. I'm not sure. This is just, something new to try. Like, it's just stupid, guys. Just don't do it. Don't ever say, "Are you sure?" Do you say, "Are you sure?" to people who are like, "Oh, I decided to cut all my hair off"? Like, no, you say, "Oh, really? You're cutting your hair off?" So don't say, "Are you sure?" when we say we're gay or transgender or whatever that person decides to be.
I also don't like when people decide, like, who I want to date. Like, you know how there's some people out there that are like, "Oh, well, if you're transgender, like female and male, you have to date women now." It's like, what if I want to date other transgenders, or, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, because I know quite a few trans women who are, like, male to female who date women.
Yeah.
It
depends on what you're comfortable with and what you're attracted to.
Just because you feel like a boy inside doesn't mean you don't like other boys.
Yeah.
Just don't judge. It's the biggest one that this is all about. Like, don't judge people. Don't assume. Don't judge. Just be accepting. I know it's harder said than done, but basically just most of the time try to just accept and not judge. One of the ones that makes me mad is don't look at a trans man or woman and tell them to either be a man about it or be a woman about it. Like,
grow some balls.
Don't do that.
That's rude. Like, for real, like, if you looked at me and said, "Oh, you need to man up or grow some balls," it's like, okay, I'm fucking trying. Sorry for my language. But it's like, I'm trying. Give me some slack here.
It's kind of rude. Like,
yeah, you can't do that. That'd be like me saying, I don't know right now. That'd be like me looking at a version and be like, "Go get laid, man. Just go." That's mean. Like, don't do that.
It's kind of like slapping you in the face about it.
Yeah.
It's rude. Given, I'm not gonna lie, I always say be a man about it, but I say it to everybody not. Just saying, it's kind of different when it's a saying that you say 24/7. Like, I'm a man about it or be a man about it and stuff like that. A little bit different. But it kind of just depends on who the person is and how close you are with them and if they're gonna perceive that as rude.
Yeah.
It's just most times just assume not to do it. Another one that's pretty bad is when you try to out them. Don't do that. Like, don't go, "Oh, hi, have you met Tori? She's transgender." Or "He's transgender." Like, don't. That's unnecessary.
If they want to tell everybody, "Yeah, I'm trans," and that's their own person, like, don't do it for them.
Yeah, don't.
That would be like me walking up to somebody that you are just not me and be like, "Oh, have you met so-and-so? They're straight, or they're gay, or they're
like, how would you feel if somebody was always like, "Oh, this is my straight friend"?
Like, don't put a label on somebody. Let them, if they want everybody to know their business, then they'll tell them. Don't do it for them.
Given most gay people or transgenders are quite flamboyant about what they are, but it's just rude. Like, don't. Just
like me, I don't want somebody walking out to somebody I don't know and be like, "Oh, have you met Tori? He's transgender." Like, no, don't say that.
But it's not just a trans thing with that one, because I hate when people are like, "Oh, this is my lesbian cousin. cousin or my lesbian niece. Like, can't I just be your niece for once? Like,
Yeah.
why'd I gotta be your lesbian niece?
Just don't put labels on people and don't out them. It's rude
and don't just assume they are out either.
Yeah.
Just because they told you does not necessarily mean that they're out with everyone. So, I think that's just about all the things not to say to people, or not to say to transgenders. And by the way, in case we didn't cover it, if you hear us say trans or trans men or trans women, it is just short for transgender, and then trans man is when it's female to male, and trans woman is when it's male to female. So, just so you guys know, we didn't cover those terms. I don't know why. But yeah, so I think that's about it for today. We'll see you guys next week, Wednesday.
Maybe again this week. Who knows?
If we decide to make another one.
Like, subscribe, comment.
Or don't, whatever you feel like doing. Share the video if you decide to feel nice.
Yeah, share the video. That's about it, I think. You satisfied?
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye.